It's always nice to talk about footy, isn't it?
Oh, cool, cool.
It's time we had a big hit, and I'm really excited for this one, man. You guys are, oof, can't be stopped
Yeah,
right now.
but it's going all right at the minute. It's going all right.
Listen, first things first, Ollie, don't be modest. We don't want modesty. We want results, yeah? Don't be saying it's kind of all right. You guys are absolutely flying. Don't be giving it it's all right.
Yeah, we're doing well.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the 92, a show where we shine a bright light on the Vanarama National League. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Femily Sandy, and once again, we've got another special guest. He's playing for a team that are absolutely flying at the moment, a team that are taking the National League by storm. It doesn't seem like anyone can stop them, a guy who's had multiple promotions. We're going to welcome Ollie Banks. Welcome to the show, Ollie.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Welcome, Ollie, and just for the record, yeah, you're one of my favorite players in this division. I just thought I put that.
I bet you say that to all the guys, don't you?
Actually, now I haven't said it once.
Thank you.
I like Chris Conclark. He's one of my favorites, but you are one of my favorites. Every time I watch you, you play with an elegance and a swag and that long hair. Just Like, let me not even sound like a fanboy, but just trust me. I know what I'm saying.
Do you know what? Ollie, I can back him. He did say when we come off the pitch the last time we played, you said, yeah, that Ollie, he can play football. We're appreciative of the players that really express themselves and like dictate a tempo of a game, and that's what you do, man. And I've seen recently that you've got in a team of the half season as well. Yeah. So it just goes to show that you're really doing your thing this season. How does that feel to be voted in that? Obviously, it's the half season, but is that important to you?
I think if I get in the team at the end of the season, that'll be a big one for me. Obviously, the halfway point's nice, but that's what it is. It's the halfway point. It doesn't really necessarily mean that much. So now, when I got in it, obviously it was nice, but then it's kind of drove me forward to getting the full team of the season.
Oh, for sure.
And Ollie, you've had a very, very interesting career. You played for like loads of clubs. Loads of clubs. Would you say this is a period where you're playing your best football at the moment in your career?
Yeah, it's definitely up there. Yeah, it's not just about football for me at the minute though. It's everything. It's obviously I'm getting to an age now where things change. You boys will know the same. Once you get past 30, things kind of switch a little bit. You stop taking things for granted. You don't just think it's going to last forever. I'm just enjoying every day, to be honest, and love going into training. We've got an unbelievable set of lads, staff. Everything's just in a really good place. At the minute, I'm just loving playing football. Living half an hour away from the ground, family coming to games, kids love it. So it's all kind of just fell into place a little bit this season. And then, as you lads will know, when you're happy, you play your best stuff.
That's very important. It's very important to be happy off the pitch, and it translates to on the pitch. And you see the energy that is at Chesterfield. Obviously, you guys winning games, top of the league. Is there similarities in terms of the environment to when you got promoted to League One with them a few years back? Would you say there's similarities?
Yeah, yeah, the 100% is. The gaffer, he drives such high standards. Really, really high standards. He doesn't let anyone come off it. We train every single day so hard. We we run a hell of a lot. We work hard. We cover serious distance in training. We're all in the gym every day together. There's no moaning. Everyone gets on with it, even when you have them days where you think, oh, another 8K today. But no, we work so hard, and it shows on a Saturday. We work so hard for each other, and there's such a good team spirit at the minute, and that's what the gaffer brings. We had it last time. We had a fantastic set of lads, and we had players that were probably too good for the level back then, the likes of Liam Cooper, Ian Everett, Jimmy Ryan, Sammy Morsey, Gary Roberts, who's now my coach, Jay O'Shea, Mark Richards. I think he's the all-time League Two goal scorer. So we had some serious players,
Serious players.
and we have this time around. Yeah, serious players, and we have this time around. You just look at the Gaffers recruitment this summer, adding to what we already had, likes of Will Grigg, Nails, Michael Jacobs. Sorry to any of the boys that I've missed out, but just top players for the level and probably even level above. So we're flying at the minute, but the gaffer doesn't allow us to get ahead of ourselves. He likes us to be respectful and quiet and go about his business and just trying to keep ticking games off, and that'll hopefully see us where we
No,
want
do
to
you know
be.
what it is? Me for me are like we're suckers for stats. And I'm going to get back to some of the names you just named in terms of your team, but you said 8K in training. Is that how many days a week would you say you do 8K?
7 to 8, 3 times a week.
Three? You say three?
Yeah.
Oh. So 3 out of 4 basically, because you probably have one day off in the week.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a
So the
lot.
boys that don't play many minutes on the weekend, I've been in that position this season. We You'll go and do a really good session on a Monday. The boys who've played, will do a lesser session and then cool down and go to the gym. But on a free week, yeah, on a free week with no midweek game, we cover serious distance, yeah. But it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. We have days where we'll have an enjoyable day, but when it's time to work, it's the gaffer says it's time to work, so that's what we do.
It does seem like a hard taskmaster, but I'm just thinking about, I think when we played you, your bench was like, everyone on your bench could basically walk into any National League side. I think it was yourself, it was Berry, I think Jacobs was on the bench. I think Jeff King was on the bench. Is that competition something that probably drives you guys forward? And is it tough to sometimes come out and then go back in? Because for yourself, you've obviously got 6 goals this year, 3 assists, and you find yourself on the bench at one point. Maybe it's a rotation that some of the bigger clubs do. Is it tough for you to handle that, or is it easier because you're where you are in the league?
Yeah, it is tough. As you know, you want to play every game. But we've kind of created a bit of a culture now where if you do get left out, you know you're going to be playing games. So obviously you're disappointed, but everyone quickly accepts it. I think I remember a few weeks ago, I think Dobra scored a couple and didn't play the next game, and he was fine. The gaffers created such a unique thing where everyone's just so happy for each other, and we're so happy at what we've created, and it's rare. It is rare in football. You boys will have seen it yourselves. I've seen it plenty of times. A happy dressing room is the most important thing, and especially the gaffer always says the most important lads are the ones that are left out or on the bench. They're the most important ones, and that's definitely what we've created. But I found myself out of the squad for a few games early on this season, and it's tough. It's tough, especially with the 5 substitutes. You, but instead of blaming the manager like we all like to do, yeah, I did it. I did it myself. If the gaffer watches this, I'm sorry. No, yeah, you kind of you want to blame somebody else, don't you? And I think when you realize that, right, look at yourself for what you can do better, and then I think that's why you need to get your head up to move on, really.
For sure. I just want to rewind a little bit and back to this distance thing. So the other day, I see a video on the socials of you guys doing a 1K run. Yeah, I think it was on
Yeah,
even on was it even on Monday after a game? I can't even remember. Yeah, it might have been on a Monday, but anyway, oh no, maybe Tuesday. But yeah, I remember me and Wheeler were talking about it. He was telling me that Mike Jones is so fit, like he's 36 and he's probably still the fittest. How fit is this guy? What did he do?
he's incredible, man. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Like I've never been a big gym goer. I've always been okay at running. My game's always been the technical side. But Mike Jones is a different animal, mate. He looks like he belongs on the cover of Men's Health. He's always doing core. He's always got a mat somewhere with a plate in his hand. But he lives well. He lives his life right. He lives well, and that's testament to him. He's still doing so well at the age he's at. Is a bit of a role model for people who want to go on and have a long career and stay fit.
I just wanna take you back to last season. Obviously, myself and Femi and Bongo, we got to the semi-finals and lost to Notts County. You guys went one step further. We got to the biggest stage in football, which is Wembley. Unfortunately, lost on penalties. Well, I just want to know, what was the message straight after the game, and what was the message when you came back to pre-season? Because myself and Femi, we were devastated. Like, that drive back from Notts County's ground, it was probably the longest ever. So I just want to know what it's like for you, because that must have been tough. But obviously, you guys have rallied because you're now 8 points clear with 2 games in hand. Don't know how you've managed to do that, but that's another story for another for later on in the show. But tell me the messages from the gaffer after the game, because I remember seeing him running down the tunnel. He couldn't watch the penalties, to now coming back to the season this year.
The message after was he just said, "I'm so proud of you boys. Like the way he played today, the whole season." He said, "You should be so proud." He said, "I am." He said, "There'll be no doom and gloom." He said, obviously everyone will be
everyone will be.
But he just said, we've got to move on and we've got to look forward to next season. And that was the same message, really. That was the same message coming back into pre-season. But personally, it was the toughest moment I've had in football, 100%. It still gets to me a little bit now, to be honest.
Why was it the toughest?
Kids. Just, I think because I spent obviously so long with Chesterfield before, and coming back, and my kid's been at the game, just everything, the whole emotion that surrounded the day, it was horrendous. Yeah, can't really think back to it, to be honest. It's not a nice one.
Nice. Even now, it's like you get flashbacks to it and you start thinking about, if I just did that.
Oh, I've played it over.
And it just keeps you. I've had sleep. Me and Femi have had many sleepless nights, but whenever someone brings it up, it's like, I was cool until you just brought it up again. So thank you. But obviously, we've kind of shared the same pain. Maybe yours a little bit more, because we was like a minute away from Wembley, you was maybe a couple minutes away from League Two, so it's a completely different thing. And then I can only imagine what it's like hearing that.
Well, it's I've got two boys, and they came to the game, and the morning after we got home, I come downstairs and my little lads put the TV on, put YouTube on, and put the highlights on. I'm like, no.
You can always rely on kids. You can always rely on kids, man.
And he's talking me through the game. He's like, "Oh no, what's he doing? What's he doing?" I'm like, "Oh God." But no, it was no, it's tough. It's so tough.
Yeah.
Such a tough experience. But we all said afterwards it'll make us stronger. And I think we had such respect for what Wrexham and Notts County did last season. I think if anyone deserved it, it was them. But the way the game played out, we deserved it on the day. We should have won, but we made a couple of mistakes that obviously cost us.
I like what you said about the experience makes you guys stronger, because it's hard to see at the time, but when you move forward and you realize, like for example, what you guys are doing now, it shows that you've used that experience to spur you guys on. And do you think that's something that you guys took into the season, and you still hold close to you guys like now, like we're not letting this opportunity now we're in this position, we're not, and this is part of the reasons, the catalyst why you guys are doing so well, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's definitely part of it. 100% part of it. The only way to avoid Wembley again is to go and win the league, isn't it? So that's what we need to try and do. I don't think I can go through that again. No, definitely not. But it was an unbelievable experience playing there again. I think that was my third time there. I've lost twice and won once, and the winning there must have been unbelievable for the Notts County lads. And like I said, they deserved it over the season. They were fantastic. To be fair to them.
No, for sure, for sure. And now you've played over 100 games for Chesterfield over 2 spells. But my one question is, have you lot sorted out where you're going when you win the league this year, or you? How?
No.
Let's be honest, because no one. It doesn't seem like anyone's gonna catch you guys. You lot. So if it's me, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, yeah, do you know what? I'm telling the skipper to go in there and book Vegas ASAP. I'm trying to get that sorted.
No, do you know what? It's different when you're in it. When you're in it, and you obviously we know we're doing well, but you're always catchable. Until it's done, it's not done. And I know from the outside it might seem like we're uncatchable, like you say. But it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that when you're in it. Probably the boys looking behind us think maybe we're going to be tough to catch. Hopefully they keep thinking like that. But Bromley are flying. They're flying. They keep picking wins up. So we need to do the same.
No, Bromley are doing really well. Is it? I've heard about sometimes managers. I've been when I was at York City, a manager banned the word promotion. Has there been anything like that for you guys, or is it just business as usual?
No, there's been no talk of banning words or you're not allowed to say this, you're not allowed to say that. But it's like I was saying to you earlier about the culture we've created. There's been talk of hopefully we get promoted, but there's been no complacency, or it's just looking at the next block of games and thinking, right, well, what can we get out of this? Or that's we're just taking it. We really are taking it step by step and trying to remain as respectful and as keep his feet on the ground as much as possible, and just keep trying to tick the wins off.
No, for sure. I really like that approach, and sounds like you guys got a good thing going on there. We asked Cordy Langstaff this question. I want to throw it to you as well. Obviously, you've been promoted a couple of times. What's the best way getting promoted? Would you say Wembley, or would you say automatic? So through playoffs.
Better in different ways. Wembley for me. Wembley for me. Obviously, I know you're in training for another 2 or 3 weeks or whatever it is, and automatic, you can. It's so tough that. Yeah, Wembley for me. For the feeling. Yeah, for the feeling.
No, Wembley's an occasion. Wembley's an occasion. And to be fair, you're lucky enough, as much as some players don't go to Wembley at all throughout their whole career. So the fact that you've been there 3 times, that just shows about the level that you've played at for a long time, because you don't get to Wembley by luck. It's a beautiful stadium, especially when you win as well. But we're gonna get in some of these games though. Starting off with 6th place Gateshead against Halifax, who are in 8th. And it's one of those teams that I think everyone was surprised by, because they went in the FA Trophy, they went and put 5 past Rochdale again. But on this occasion, Halifax beat them at home, which was 2-0. Kane, Thompson-Summers and Ali scoring the goals there. And a crazy stat was that in 17 games over 23 years, Gateshead had never won. So yeah. I don't know about that one, Fem, but how do you see that game, Femi?
Yes, it's going to be a tough game. It's always a tough game. Both teams, obviously, they met in the FA Trophy final last season as well, and Halifax came out on top. Yeah, so it just seems like Halifax might have the card. Halifax are a very tough team. Like, they're aggressive. You know what I mean? They play a direct style of football that can be difficult to cope with. You know, you've got to come ready. You've got to come ready to play them. And yeah, it seems like they just got the result. Obviously, Ali, who I'm a massive fan of as well. He's flying. I don't think he'll be in this division for much longer. He popped out with a goal. And when you've got him in the side, anything can happen. He's one of those type of players where he could just pull a rabbit out of a hat at any moment, you know, and it's a good player. It's a good asset to have in the team. So credit to Halifax. Credit to Halifax.
Yeah, Halifax are doing really well. And another 2 teams that are doing well that were in a East Hampshire derby was Aldershot and Eastleigh. A guy that was with you guys at last season, in Paul McCallum, he's up to 21 for the season, 18 in the league. So he grabbed the brace in a 5-3 victory. Obviously, Aldershot did amazing things in the FA Cup, knocking out some league opposition. And Jack Barham got his 7th. And Josh Stokes, who just popped up in the league, got his 11th as well. But it wasn't enough. Bailey Clements, Kobe Rose scored their own goal. And Scott Quigley as well got his 9th goal this season. And they got that win in despite of Baldwin getting sent off. But before we go into that, do you think Paul Cook's regretting letting Maka go after now being the top goal scorer, Ollie? I know you got Will Grigg and he's on fire. We know the songs and we know he's a seasoned pro that's been there and done it. But 21 goals overall, it's not easy to come by, is it?
No, it's incredible. It's incredible. Maka's record speaks for itself. He's scored multiple goals his whole career, and he's flying. We played a couple of weeks ago in the league, and them 2 up top. Quiggs, I played with Quiggs at Barrow, and obviously Maka last season. They're both a real handful. And if they play into their strengths, which is obviously balls in the box, and they're very, very good at what they do. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by it. He's got that capability. But he didn't score too many for us, but he did offer us another option, and he was a big vocal point for us when he did play for us. So I'm glad to see Maka doing well. He's a great lad, and it's nice to see.
Any regret from Big Cookie, you reckon?
He's happy with what he's got.
No, for sure. It must be. You just hope they're going to do well, don't you? Let's be like, there's no guarantees of how a player's going to adapt to your team or anything. But to be fair, Will Griggs doing a madness.
So much of his work go unnoticed. We've got movement in the box. He like start off behind defenders and just nip in, and the little flicks into the corner. His movement's incredible. He does some things in training. You think, how has he got there? How has he got across the keeper there? Or
so going on to Altrincham, they played bottom place Fylde. Altrincham doing really well this year. Con Clark scoring his 12th in the season, getting 2 on that. They've been going well.
One of them, so they're good. I like them. they play good stuff, play good football. But they can mix it up a little bit as well. They're not just a one-trick pony. They don't just play out for the sake of playing out or hit the front man for the sake of it. They seem like they've got a couple of different plans, and they're good at what they do. And obviously, I know you two boys are fans of Con Clark, and I think he's a lovely footballer. He makes us, and I like that. I like that in people. I like seeing that. So it's good.
Yeah, he definitely expressed himself. And even when he was on the show, he was like, we was talking about you guys as Chesterfield. And he said, yeah, they're the only team that's not coming. We're the only team to beat them, I think he said at the time. So he's even got that cheeky arrogance about him. But you want to see that in footballers, don't you? Like he's the type of guy that gets bums off seats and at the moment. As Femi said about Ali, I can't see him being in this league for much longer either. But at the halfway point now as well, so it's getting a bit time for them to put some results on the board.
He scored a worldie of a free kick as well yesterday, Con Clark.
And Filed, what do you think about Filed, Fem?
Yeah, Fylde. You know what? We're almost halfway at the halfway point now, and Fylde are finding themselves further and further away from safety. I'm just going to say how it is, isn't it? It's going to be tough. You know, it's going to be tough. I'm looking at the table now as we speak, and there's 6 points from safety, so they can still do it, but they need to get it together now, yesterday, as I like to say, and just get some wins on the board if they want to go into the second half of the season with some sort of hope, you know.
No, for sure, for sure. And coming on to your game, Ollie, beat a good Hartlepool side, 1-0. Armando Dobra as well, popping out of a goal. You know, I really like him as a player. He seems as though an occasion never really gets him. I know he scored last year in the playoff final. I'm surprised that he was still there, to be fair. But at the same time, I'm not, because where Chesterfield's going, it's playing for everyone to see. But talk us through your game yesterday, and also tell us a little bit about Dobra.
Dobbs is a lovely footballer, mate. He can mix it up as well. He puts himself about. He tackles. He's just one of them players that you hate playing against, and he's been brilliant for us. He's especially in the last few weeks. I think he got a couple of assists for me against Eastleigh. He scored again yesterday. He had a slow start to the season in terms of goals and assists. Still putting performances in, just not really getting the recognition with the goals and assists. But he's doing that now. And it's good to see. I think we'll have a job on keeping hold of him long term, if really hard for the team. So yeah, Dobbs is a real good one and a good prospect. He's only young. I think he's only 20, 21, 22. So he's got potential to be to have a long good career.
You know, do you know what I like about your team? Yeah, every time I check the results, yeah, you can't predict who scored. Like there's always like a group of like 6 of you guys that just rotates on
Yeah.
the. It's like 1 week, like yesterday was Dobra, next week it could be Greg, or 1 week it could be yourself, or Quigley. You know what I mean? 1 week it could be Mandeville. What a play he is, by the way. But yeah,
Yeah.
1 week it could be him. You know, I really like that about the team. Like if it's not someone's day, someone else is gonna step up and chip in. You know.
I could sit here all day and tell you so many good things about him. He's such a great guy, and he's a proper player. He's a real player, mate. Like some of the things he does in training. He's just good at everything. He's one of them annoying guys who's good at everything. Not at head tennis though. He can't beat me at head tennis.
You got a head tennis, yeah?
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm not normally one for blowing my own trumpet, but I think I could play at a top level at head tennis.
Hey, that's my game. Ollie, that's my game. Honestly, that's my game. Like I tell Femi as well. Femi knows anyway, but I've not lost a head tennis game in about 5 years. We play like the barriers. Do you play an actual net though?
Yeah, we've got a like a proper head tennis net. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to take this to to the court. I need to see your
You know
skills.
what? I'll tell you a little story now. And Mandeville and Oldacre, they can't beat me in singles, so I play them 2v1.
You're joking.
Serious?
Like that, yeah.
And they rarely beat me at that either.
Listen, I actually think I'm better at head tennis than actually 11v11 because
Yeah, I think I am.
They gotta play you TV1.
No, funny Mandeville story. When we played against the show, yeah, he's that good. But no, we ran the show. He ran the show the time we played against them, like picking up the ball, running through our whole team, basically trying to put in the ball on the plate. And then after the game, I was going to Manchester. He must have been going as well, and I've just seen him, and you would never think he's a footballer. He had some boots on. He had on like a leather jacket, some skinny jeans. I was like, that cannot be the guy that just took the piss out of my team. That can't be. He looked like he was like from a boy band or something. I was like, no, this guy is taking the pick.
Mate, if I showed you my camera roll, Mandeville, I have got hundreds of pictures of him in the most rascal gear you could ever imagine. He just doesn't care, mate. No,
What a guy. No, honestly, what a guy. What a guy.
That TV1, I still can't get over that story, you know. Like even if you're gonna beat me 100 times, I'm not gonna double up just to get you down. Like I'll play you 1v1 till I beat you. Simple.
The same.
No, they get beat 2v1, man.
No, we're gonna have to set up a match. We're gonna have to set up a match.
Yeah,
you must be really good.
We got a much needed win yesterday, Fem, against Oxford City.
Yeah.
The Tom Whelan renaissance is carrying on, picking up where he left off. And Marshy, he's now got 4 goals in 3 games. And Reece Fleet, he scored a goal as well, but it wasn't enough as we ran out 2-1 winners, a much needed win. How did you see that game, Femi? Talk to me about the game from your point of view.
Yeah, it was a game of importance, if I'm being honest with you. You know, especially the time of the year that we're at, approaching the Christmas period, and you want to get momentum, build momentum going into the new year. So that win was big. I feel like we had a game plan, and we started off really well, which helped us in it. And when we got our early chances, we managed to put them in the back of the net, which gave us a bit of which helped us a bit going and playing the game forward. You know what I mean? Playing forward. So yeah, I would say that helped us. Like usually on other days, on other occasions, we might have been unlucky, might hit the post, hit the crossbar, miss, you know, and then we're in the game. But the fact that we managed to get 2 goals with like 2 of our first 2 chances, I think that aided us in that game and ended up being pretty comfortable, if I'm being honest with you. Ended up being comfortable. So yeah, we just move on. We gotta move quickly. Like Banks just said, like you just got every game just take off games. So it's actually for us.
No, it did look comfortable. It did look comfortable, and as I said, a much needed win. I love the way Wheelo's come in because similar to you, Ollie, that it was a time when he wasn't getting much game time, but he kept his head down, and I suppose he maybe thought it was a similar way to Chesterfield, really, because that's where we came from, and the competition in squads is so tough, you know. So I'm really happy for him the way he's rebuilt himself and kept knocking on the door, kind of thing. So credit to him for sure. But we're going to go on to the team that are in second place, which is Bromley. Michael Cheek doing what he does, 4 in 4, 11 for the season. Corey Whiteley popping up with another goal as they ran out 2-1 winners against a good Southend team. Komongolo scored a consolation, but it wasn't enough. Talk about Bromley. Are you looking over your shoulder at any point, Ollie, or are you just keeping facing forward?
I think we'd be silly not to take serious notice of them. They're flying, aren't they? They just keep seem to be knocking win after win out, and yeah, we beat them 2-0 at our place, but I don't think we saw the best of them, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, we were good on the night. To be fair, we were good, but I don't think we saw the best of them. But they're certainly flying, and we need to keep winning games to keep them back. Obviously, the big ones will be the 2 games in hand that we've got. I think we've got them both in January.
Okay.
You're wrong. Definitely got one of them in January. So that'll be a good sign of what's coming if we can win them 2 games in hand. And we've got a tough January. We've got a really tough January. Well, starting next week, really, we've got Aldershot, Solihull back to back. We've got Barnet. I don't think we play Bromley in January. We've got real tough games. So I think by the end of January, mid February, we'll have a better idea.
Yeah. No, that's. I think January is the time when you can really put some points up on the board. But I want to ask you a question about: do you notice when teams come to your place that they play different? Because Femi always likes to remind me how playing in front of Chesterfield, maybe some people get a little bit nervous. Have you noticed that in teams where they just come and forward and can't play in front of that 10,000 strong crowd?
No, I think we see the opposite. I think teams run harder.
Okay.
They run harder and they get up for it. They give that little bit extra that you probably didn't have the week before or the week after. Because especially last year, not so much this year, we'd see teams would come to us or we'd go to teams and we'd not get the result we wanted, and then you'd see them go get beat 4-0 the next week. So yeah, we've not lost a game at home this season, so obviously there's something going right. But no, I don't think I see that. I don't think I see that.
Well, Jamal's been speaking for me a lot this episode. Let me speak for myself. Yeah, what I was basically trying to say here is, you see that when you go Chesterfield, and let's say, for example, now Bournemouth v Chesterfield at Chesterfield. Now Bournemouth are 1-0 up. Yeah, 1-0 up. We go there, we give it a right go, 1-0 up, and it starts getting to like the 80th minute. 82nd minute. Yeah. And then the fans get behind you. You guys start playing your football. You start bringing on all your superstars, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's affected a lot of teams this season. Like, they've been winning, but then when the fans get behind your big stadium, you start attacking, attack after attack after attack. It just seems like teams just end up giving in, you know, and conceding, and you might hit them with a 1-2 combo where you equalize and then you get the winner, you know, and that's been like from what I've seen from the outside looking in, that's what it's been looking like, you know, this season. So that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think there was a stat as well. I think we scored like the last 15 goals we scored at home have all come in the second half.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the football that we play, we wait for moments. We don't just play for the sake of playing. We work to get in areas, and we work to shift the back five, the back three, the back four, whatever. We work to shift them about and create moments, and then, as the gaffer likes to say, to get your flair players in the right pockets and get in the areas that kill teams. And we know that might take 60, 70, 80 minutes, but we know that they will come. Like I said before, that culture that we've created, we've all bought into that, and we know if we go to the 80th minute that it's 0-0 or we're not winning the game, we will create chances. 100% will create chances, and we've got players, like you said earlier, all over the pitch that can score goals. So it's just remaining positive and knowing that what we're doing will get us there.
You know what? It seemed as though at one point in the season, you was conceding not a lot of goals, but you was behind quite a lot, and then somehow miraculously, I think in 1 week you scored in a round of games, you scored like in the last 10 minutes for about 6 games running. You just kept coming back and come back, and it seemed like when Paul Cook was thinking, okay, it's getting a bit test now, he just literally threw everyone. He threw Barrow on, Jacobs on, he threw Quigley on, and something just seemed to happen. Like, how is that? Because sometimes you go into the back end of games, you think, you know, it's not going to happen here. But it seems as though a little bit like Man United, that Fergie time kind of stuck to them. And it seems like you guys had that going as well.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think we think, oh, it's just we just keep doing what we're doing, and I think teams kind of they get tired. The football that we play, they get tired of covering the gaps, and people were saying to me, "Oh, you're getting lucky all the time scoring them late goals." It's not luck. It doesn't happen that many times for it to be luck.
No, of course.
Maybe once or twice, but not 6, 7 times the way we have done. It's yeah, like I said, to just all staying on the same page and knowing that the chances will come and trusting the lads in front of goal to deliver, and that's what we've done so far.
Yeah. Ollie, I wanna pick your brain on something, yeah. So
Yeah, go for it.
this season, yeah, extended additional time.
You're
Lions.
going to ask me see if that's helped us, aren't you? That's what you're going to ask me.
Let me at least answer the question. But yeah, you know what I'm going with it. Because of the style of football and the way Chesterfield played, would you say that's aided you guys?
When it got brought in, I 100% believe straight away that it would help us. Like I was actually happy that it got brought in because we are so fit as a group of players. We are so fit, and the players we have on the bench week in week out are just as good as the lads that are playing. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it'd help us. I don't know whether it's right or wrong. It's open to opinion and interpretation, but everything's okay until it gets abused. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if there's a team abusing it, then they deserve to have the time on. But some of the stuff's a bit silly. But no, I think it's as a whole, it's pretty good, and yeah, I definitely believe it's helping us. Definitely.
For sure, especially when you're running 8K 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Teams into the ground. I might have to talk to the gaffer. I'm gonna say, hey, listen, we've got to do what the best guys are doing. Let's try and get into it. But I'm not sure how that'll fly. I'm not gonna lie.
It's definitely paying off because yeah, they've been scoring like 90 plus 5, 90 plus 6.
And going back to the league, another team that in the early stage was really neck and neck with you guys was Barnet. And they've maybe tailed off a little bit, but they're still third place, and they played Edgefleet yesterday. That was a 1-1 draw. A late Ben Coker own goal leveled that up, and Nick Kabamba got his 14th of the season. And a player that was actually linked with Chesterfield actually in the early parts of maybe this season and last season, but he stayed there and he's picked up where he left off, scoring a lot of goals. What did you see? What have you seen from Barnet this year, Ollie? Especially after they ran you so close in the early stages.
Yeah, obviously they've had a really good start. They've had a tough couple of weeks, or probably since they played us at our place. But that first half against Barnet was probably one of the toughest 45 minutes that we've had.
Really?
Definitely up there. They had a few chances. We had a few as well, to be fair. They probably could have been in front in that first half, if I'm being honest. But then the second half, like I went back to saying before, teams come to our place and they run a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And I think that showed in the second half, and we got in them positions that we want to get in, and the overlapping fullbacks, and well, we thought we'd put the game to bed at 4-0, but then we all had a little nap at about 80 odd minutes, and then but no, that was a big win for us. That was a massive win, and it's derailed them a little bit.
Was it good as a big game by your camp, or was it just another game?
No, we obviously, with them being so close to us, we knew that we couldn't afford to lose it.
Yeah. Do you know what I really like about a lot of the things you're saying? Yeah, it's like you know the magnitude of certain situations and you know what's at stake in it. But it's like, all right, this is at stake, but I'm gonna put that here. I'm gonna focus on this 90 minutes of football or this game and that game. And during this interview, during this conversation, I just feel like that's something that I've got from you. Like you're aware of what's at stake. You spoke about we've used many examples, the Barnet game. You spoke about the Wembley experience. Spoke about loads of things. So you're aware of what's at stake, or what's fueling you, but you just park it there. All right, this is a stick. I'm gonna park this here, but I'm gonna focus on this dynamics. And I think that's the best way to approach situations. I definitely try to approach situations that way myself, you know.
Yeah.
Because they always say play the game, not the occasion. And
Mm.
and yeah, there's a lot of games that we know that are big games and whatnot, but we cannot make that the be an end all of, like, we can't make that the occasions, you know what I mean? We can't make
Yeah.
the whole thing. So I really like that. It's something I've learned in this interview from you.
I don't think the gaffer would allow anyone to be any different, to be honest with you. He drills that into us on a daily basis. He really does. He's even when we train on a Monday and a Tuesday, it's like, right, you work hard today, you train properly, your habits will come out in training as they're doing games, make sure that they're right.
You know what? I do get that from him. He's the kind of man, you know, the managers that kind of scary managers. Like,
Oh, yeah, he's got potential to be scary, yeah.
I can imagine that. I remember the game we played, you guys, I was on the bench to come back from injury, and I think he was suspended. So he was like basically in the doorway of the change room. I could just hear him barking. I was thinking, and he's got that raspy voice as well. Imagine if he gets angry and goes at you, I can imagine it being kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. Even for a grown man, you still get that fear about managers. I think that's what the best managers are like, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say then. I think it's important. All the best managers I've had that little bit of fear factor. I think that's healthy. Obviously respect and a little bit of fear. But he's got a different side to him as well. He's for having a little game of cards on the bus. He'll come back and sit and have a coffee with us and just chat about life, football. He's always asking about the kids, about the missus. So yeah, he's got both sides to him. He's got both sides, which is also important, I think.
I love that. I love that. And another manager who maybe you could say is on the level of Paul Cook, Mickey Mellon, down at Oldham. A team that I've been really keeping a close eye on because they've made some big signings as well. They played Solihull Moors yesterday and beat them 3-2 away from home. 3 away wins on the bounce for Oldham. Josh Stone's popping up 1 and Nathan Sheeran popping up 2. That twin towers of a player, Mark Beck popped out of a goal, and Josh Kelly got his 11th of the season as well. I really like Oldham. I think they're probably obviously disappointed with the league they're in, similar to Chesterfield, massive club for this level, but I think it's great for the National League when these clubs are competing here. But they're a team that I'm gonna say are gonna probably sneak into the playoffs. They're finding that momentum. They've got the players, you know, Mike Fondop up there, Norwood popping up with the goals that he does, but also that Nathan Sheeran popping up with a few goals as well. So they're a team that I'm really looking forward to see how they progress. And Solihull maybe slipped off it a little bit. They were up there with you guys, having a tough time.
I kind of agree with you, Jam. I think they might sneak in there. They might sneak in there, you know, because he's been here, he's done it, he's won this division before.
No, I'm sure. And was that your old gaffer as well, Ollie?
Yes, mate. Yeah. I actually went on loan to Tranmere with Mickey from Oldham. I had a bad time at Oldham, to be fair. I had a really bad time there. Fans hated me.
Really?
Yeah, the fans hated me, mate. I'm not known for me tough tackling and all that business. What they like to see. Even when I had good games and scored or had good games, they still never took to me, which is fine. That happens. But there was all sorts going off in the background as well at that point. Takeover, the new guy come in, weren't paying players. Lads coming off minibuses, 20 odd lads in training with us. We had 45 lads training at one point. It was a mess at that point. And as much as I had a bad time there, I never want to see an old club not doing well so I'm glad they're sorted. Mickey's gone in as a gaffer. I had a great few years under. Loved playing under Mickey. Played some of my best football under Mickey. Got promoted. Twice technically. I had a loan spell in the season. They went up from the National League and then signed in the summer and we got promoted had a great season, but it's back to what I was saying earlier on. We had a fantastic set of lads, unbelievable set of lads.
I remember that squad. Was that when McNulty was at centre half?
Yeah, Big Mac. Yeah, what a guy, mate.
Hey, what a player!
What a player. Yeah, I don't think he ever got the respect for how good of a footballer he was.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Ollie. For those viewers that are watching, McNulty, he wasn't your average shaped footballer in the nicest way possible. I don't because I respect him so much as a player because I've never seen him get ran. I've never seen him lose a header. And all you hear for the whole game is him directing the tempo and directing people. He's talking to the strikers. He's getting he was like the gaffer on the pitch, basically. And it was like every time I play against him, it was just crazy. I always come off thinking, how does he do it? So yeah, it was just a mad.
Oh,
He's so good on the ball as well. He was so good on the ball.
So good.
Unbelievable.
So good. I was more of a defensive midfielder at that point. I was sitting in front of the back four, and I used to love playing in front of Maka because he'd just give me the ball, and that's usually a lot of centre halves. No disrespect to centre halves in general, but the times where you can get it down and play it into midfielder, especially me who like to get on the ball.
Ollie, that's me. Ollie, that's me. That's me.
Yeah, sorry about that. But he'd turn one round the corner or play a 1-2 with you and step in, and he was brilliant, mate. I've never seen him jump for an header, and he always won the headers.
Yeah.
Just get that big forearm across him. But no, nothing but respect for Maka, and he came on in the playoff final for us. He'd not played for about 5 months, literally not kicked a ball for us for about 4 or 5 months, and he came on in the playoff final, and I still believe to this day we wouldn't have won that game if he hadn't come on.
No, I totally agree. Totally agree. Talking about totally fine, Kidderminster on the other end, 23rd place, lost again. To Maidenhead, who are actually, it seems like they're trying to shed the tag of just a team that chills in the National League. It seems like they're trying to make a name for themselves as a team that are trying to fight at the other end of the table. Casey Petit scored in a 1-0 victory over Maidenhead Femi. And they're now 7 unbeaten. What are you seeing from Maidenhead Fem? Because let's be honest, they're not known for going on runs or putting strings of wins together. They're usually just a National League team that just get by every year.
Yeah, they I think Maidenhead's very interesting conversation. They've definitely transitioned in the last year. Last season, I could see it that they're trying to transition. They've gone with younger players, more players that can actually do things ability wise. You know what I mean? They went, and I saw that coming through last season. It just seems like they're all just blossoming. You know, they've got quite a few players in the team that can make things happen.
Looking at some of your previous teams, Ollie, you don't like coming down south to play your football, do you? You like the home comforts. I've seen Rotherham, I've seen Barrow, I've seen Tranmere, obviously Chesterfield. You never fancied playing down here?
And do you know what? I've never had many options down south. I had Plymouth a few years ago.
That's too far.
Yeah, that is fire. I've had Wimbledon a couple of points, but never had too many offers from down south. But no, I do like it up here. I like a trip down south every now and again.
Hey, Winter Wonderland's on now. Bring the family, man.
Yeah, I know. I do like a little trip to London with the family. It's nice, but it gets a bit busy for me. I like a bit more. I like it a bit quieter.
No, London's a very fast life. I'm not gonna be lying to you. And like obviously, I'm actually really good friends with Wheelo. We and him become really good friends at the club. And I just look at Wheelo and I look at myself, and because I've lived in London, everything's like 100 miles per hour. Like I'm finishing training, I'm rushing to get ready, get out. Do you know what I mean? Trying to beat the traffic. Wheelo's just there chilling, like.
No, do you know what?
We'll go lunch. Yeah, he's there lunch. after lunch, I'm going for a coffee. Like, just so, like, chilled. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so chilled. And I'm just there,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I need to go home. I need to, and I'm just like, nah, this London thing is,
Wilo's a chilled guy.
you know what I mean?
He's a
Like,
great lad, Wilo. I wanted to touch on Wilo earlier. What you were saying about him, it's nice to see him doing well. He had a bit of a tough time here before he left. He played well when he played. He got in the side for a period of time, and he was always unlucky to come out. To be fair, and I'm just glad he's doing well, and you'll have to send me best wishes to him.
No, well, for
are
sure.
you guys on this as well? The Whoop Bands.
Sorry,
Are you guys on the Whoop Bands?
what's that?
This is what Wheelo put me on.
I mean, he's a footballer. You don't worry about the runs like you and the sleep and that, bro. Listen.
No, I don't worry about the running stuff. No, that's not me. That.
There was only one ball draw, so to speak, and that was Rochdale versus York. Tyree Sinclair's back for Rochdale, though, so that's a positive. But York are at 20th place now, so they maybe need to pick up some results. And they've got a tough crowd to appease. Obviously, that's where we met when you came on. Was it Charlie who went to York, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair, you reminded me because I've got the memory of a goldfish, to be fair. But yeah, York was the place, man. But it goes to show, though, a team can be up there flying 1 minute and down in the dumps next. And I think that's the story for Woking. Like us, playoff contenders last season, now they find themselves in 17th place. They played Dorking, but they did beat them. Akinola and Osu popping up with the goals there. James McShane coming back from injury and scoring as well. So congrats to those guys. And Dagenham and Redbridge, Femi's old team, having a bit of a tough one, aren't they, Fem? Quite inconsistent with it. But Woolstone beat them 2-0. Woolstone running out with Adakwa and Alarakia. That's their first away win of the season, by the way. But Fem, talk to me about that game between Daggers and Woolstone.
Yeah, Dagenham's home form, man. I keep going on about it. They just need to improve their home form. The away form's not too bad, but their home form, I think that's what's hurting them at the moment. And it's a strange situation at Dagenham because remember a couple of years ago when we used to play against them, they had the Josh Walkers, the Junior Mariases, the Musa Gaffs, Angelo Belandas, Paul McCallum. That team, it was always great going up against that team. But I think like the last one of that era left this week in Miles Weston going to Bromley, which I'm really happy that he's still going strong because he's an old boy like us. He's 35 and moving to Bromley. I think that's incredible for him, So congrats to him. But he was like one of the last of that that era to finally leave Dagenham. So even now, like the club, it's like a new group of people and they need to just buy into the club ethos and quickly get used to the new environments, so they can climb up the table, Ben Strevens is a good manager, and Lewis Young, who also was on my B license with, he's got a great eye and great football IQ when it comes to coaching. So I'm sure that those two will get together. Just give them time. They know where they need to strengthen. They're good at recruitment, and yeah, I'm sure they'll get together sooner rather than later. But the home form is something that I think needs to get resolved now. If I'm being honest with you.
No, I agree.
On the other side, Wildstone, yes, they've been doing well this season. I can't lie. Like Wildstone, do you know what? You got to respect Wildstone because they lose players, but they always seem to fill the void as well. And a team like Wildstone, you're always going to lose players to like bigger teams in this division. You know what I mean? But somehow they still managed to get going again. And when Wildstone came into this division, you would have thought that, okay, they're going to go straight back down or whatnot. But no, they're here to stay. You know, they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, for sure, for sure. Well, that's another roundup of another fixture. As again, the games are up and down. You never know who's gonna beat who. So it's gonna be a topsy-turvy roller coaster of a season as well for the second part of the season. I've really enjoyed the first part. These Christmas fixtures are definitely the time when teams are going to look to pick up their most results. But going on to the second part of the show, which is advice for young players, Ollie. We like to give back to the youngsters that are watching and coming after us. And you're someone that's not always played that. As you said, you played 100 games in League One, over 200 games in League Two, but you've also played for teams such as Gainsborough Trinity, who are not exactly known to be the biggest big clubs in the land. So what's your advice for younger players trying to make it in this game that we love? We call it the beautiful game, but there's also sides to it that are not great. So have you got any advice that you would have liked to have heard when you was coming up?
Obviously, I had my dad who played at a high level, played a lot of games. I think he played over 700 games. So it was a massive, massive help to me having him for the advice and things along the way. But I think the best advice I could give young lads is go and play games at any level that you can get them at. Just playing with real men. It can bring you on so much. I did it. My dad managed in non-league. I went and played for him at 15-year-old against 30 odd year old men. Like it was the best thing that I could have done. Yeah, it's just the usual things. It's just love the game. Just love it. That's what I always did. I used to, whenever I was home, I was kicking a ball around. My little lad's like it now. He goes to sleep with a football. Just love the game and having enthusiasm for it. Just want to be better, practice, work hard, and just live for the game. And hopefully that's enough.
I love that. Is there more pressure when obviously you said you played for your dad, and I done a little bit of background research and I saw that he played a lot of games for Rotherham, and that's where you made your professional debut. Was there like pressure in that for you, and is that something that you'd like for your sons to follow in your footsteps in that way?
There was a bit of pressure. I remember, funny actually. I remember I was at Rotherham Academy, and my old man played with the coach, the under 14s or 15s coach, and they never got on as players. Like never got on, and he wouldn't play me. He
Oh,
wouldn't play me, and
yeah.
so there's that side of it, but then there's obviously the other side that he knows what it's like. When I've been through tough times, I'll get a text message saying, don't worry, son, you're coming home to your kids." Like, just obviously having that there, he gets it. He gets it and knows exactly what it's like. But then at the same time, when I need a kick up the arse, I've had one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been good, and it's obviously it's nice for me to look back at old videos of him scoring in big games and playing in big games. So no, it was always nice to grow up around that.
I can imagine. Fem, how about you? We always ask our guests about advice to youngsters. We've not really done it for a long time. So how about you? Any advice that you'd like to share?
My dad was a professional footballer too in Nigeria, you know.
Uncle played, yeah?
Uncle played. Now, I wish I had that story. That's a good story, though. That's a good story. Advice for young players. There's so many, but you know what? You just gotta do you, man. Like, I would say just be true to yourself. that's the advice I would say. Be true to yourself, innit? Don't try and be something that you're not. Don't come into this game trying to be someone you're not, because there's people that are older than you, smarter than you, and when you're trying to be someone you're not, people are gonna see it. It's just plain and simple. But when you're true to yourself and your intentions are pure, people are gonna see that as well. And I've always wondered, like, because Ollie, you might not know how I am in football, but I'm like the busiest kind of like pro there is out there, innit? No one's ever, but do you know what is fun? Do you know what's funny? No one's ever questioned it. And no one's ever said, Femi, you're busy, because they know that, I think they just know I'm doing it for me. I'm not trying to get brownie points. I'm not trying to impress managers or.
Do you know what? I was going to go on to this when I'm a huge, massive believer in whatever works for you as a person and gets you in the right headspace to be your best, and do that.
Yeah.
Don't think, oh, he's doing this. He goes in the gym every day, does this, eats this, drinks that, doesn't go out on a Saturday if you got a Tuesday game, whatever. I know this might be a little bit like crazy to say, but do whatever makes you right in your head. Obviously, to a point.
That's it.
To a point. You can't live your life sloppily. You can't.
Yeah.
I think if you remain within a certain boundary, I think you can. I think the biggest effect is your mind. That's the way I've always felt and worked. It's like I've had points in my career where I've been in the gym every day. I've not had a thing wrong, done everything right, and it's some of the worst football I've played. And then on the other hand, I always eat pretty well. My missus is a dietitian, so she wouldn't allow it any other way. But it's like having a few beers every now and again, and just doing what you want to do to a certain point. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm just enjoying life, and my head's in the right place, and that's why I feel like the stuff's coming out on a Saturday.
No, for sure. I agree. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. It's just about being true to yourself, man, and
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree.
Doing what's right for you. And I'm telling you now, when you do that, people see it, man. People will see it, and it'll pay off. Don't try and be something you're not. That's what I think is. That's the advice I'll give to young players. I'm a bit brash this episode, didn't it? I'm being a bit brash, like just saying how it is, isn't it?
No, that's how we
That's
like.
how it should be.
Hey, it's needed, man. It's needed. I can't.
That's what we pride ourselves on. It's not one of the cliche. Oh yeah, we just say the right things because we don't want to get like blacklisted. Like we just say how it is.
That's a bit. Whoa.
But no, I agree with you, Femi. You do live by that. You do live by that, and you are one of the busiest. But it used to be. Let's be honest. We've all played with players that are busy for the manager to see they're being busy.
Yeah. Oh.
We've had those players, and they'll get found out because we see as players and teammates why they're doing it. But someone like Femi, you don't come under that bracket. We know you're doing it for yourselves. But the second part of this that I love is our word of the week. This is where we give a word that we can take into the week and maybe think about when things are going well, but also when things are going bad. And my word this week, and I'm going to pass it on to Femi, I'll let you go after Ollie, is gratitude. I'm sure we all saw Luton Town's Tom Lockyer collapse yesterday. So thoughts and prayers out to him. But it just goes to show how lucky we are to be here, but also do something that we love, I think we was having a conversation yesterday in the change room about how before he got to the Premier League, I think this has never happened apart from last year in the playoffs. So he's literally reached the pinnacle of his career, and now it's the worst timing possible for anything like that to happen. So I think we've got to be really in tune with how lucky we are just to be alive and be around our friends and family, especially around this period of festive season. So that's my word of the week. Gratitude and just being grateful for every moment we have, really. Femi, I'll pass it on to you.
My word of the week this week was going to be family. Obviously, you all know that Christmas is upon us. It's around the corner.
Sorry, Femi, let me stop you there. Sorry. I see, Ollie, you're married. Femi, you're married. This is the kind of people that I need to be around, you know? Married, honest men that... I'm just trying to be like you guys. Like, that's why I'm around you guys, because stand-up men, I love that. All right? But go on, Fem. Go on, carry on.
I see that ring on your finger. I was thinking, okay, marriage, yeah.
Yeah.
My finger's all empty. My finger's got nothing on it.
My was in the room. I ain't got it on right now. It's early in the morning, you know. I said, you know, what do you sleep with it on?
I can't get it off.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
But Femi's newly married, so that's why. Femi's newly married.
No,
I can't get mine off.
I don't like wearing man, bro. not like that. Not like that.
Story actually. I've never taken it off for a game ever. Since we've been married, obviously. I hope the refs don't. There's no refs watching. And then the one game the ref made me take it off. I pulled my hamstring at York last year.
Oh, is
so
it?
Like, that's it. I'm never taking it off again.
No, you know, it's my one. Yeah, I'm scared to wear it. So like,
why are you scared to wear it, fam?
Because it's fresh, it's new. I'm scared diamonds will fall out. Like,
the diamond encrusted. It's diamond encrusted. Hey, Ollie, iced out.
No, I'll talk my thing. There's diamonds in it, so yeah, I don't really want the diamonds to drop out while I'm making a tackle. So I don't even bring it training. I only wear it like when I know, all right, everything's clean today, no physical activity. All right, I'm gonna put it on, you know. So I'll always wear it every match day, but I'll take it off like before we go out. But training, I leave it at home. But everywhere else, I put it on. Yeah.
No, mine never.
Yeah, you know. But no, back to the word of the week though. Family, like that was nice though. But yeah, family. Obviously, the Christmas season is upon us, and I'll just use this time to enjoy family. Like when you're younger, you make like sacrifice, and you don't feel, and sacrifices have to be made, innit? With the industry that we're in, we know that it's probably the busiest period for us, isn't it? The older you get, the more it kind of affects you in terms of, and not in a bad way, but in a way where, you know what, I wish I could spend more time with the family during this period and whatnot. And fortunately, the National League has kind of aided that with the Christmas fixtures being in our jurisdiction, so kind of local to us. But even if it's not, man, I would just say just try and find the time to just enjoy it with your family this period, man, because there's been so many years like in my career where it's like, oh yeah, Christmas period, I've got to focus on that, I've got to do that, I've got to focus on this game, and I'll neglect the times. But it's like nowadays it's like I feel it more, and yeah, so my word of the week is just try and spend as much time with your family during the Christmas period, man. Enjoy it, man.
For sure.
Yeah, I've been quite lucky in terms of, like you were saying earlier, never gone to a club down south. I've always been quite lucky that I've never been too far away. But I've always put spending time and being with my kids, and I've always put that before football. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. But no, I've always put them before, and I always will do. Obviously, I absolutely love what I'm doing. I always have done, but most important thing for me is them being all right. So I don't regret that. Yeah, I always have done. I always have done, and especially this time of year, it's such a brilliant time for the kids. It's like we'll take them out today to the Christmas markets and just spend quality time together. And we try and do that every Sunday. We have a little thing with the kids. Is they know that Sunday's family day. So we always have a little joke on a Saturday night. We go, boys, what's tomorrow? And they're like, family day. So they love that. They love that. And we spend far too much money on going out for food. Far too much, but no, it's one of the better things to do in it. It's what we enjoy doing, and no, that it's just yeah, I agree with what both of you are saying. Going to what you said, Jammer, about what happened yesterday. It's obviously horrendous, but it puts everything into perspective. Obviously, I'm at a point in my career now where I'm absolutely loving everything I'm doing, and love going into work, enjoy spending time with the lads, and I live half an hour. It couldn't be much better for me at the moment. And it's like you're always thinking, what is there something round corner that's gonna stop it or knock it back, or is there an injury coming? But yeah, you just have to take each day as it comes and not take it for granted. I think that's the main thing. It's when you get to our age, getting a little bit older, I think that's what you do. You certainly take more enjoyment out of the smaller things for sure, 100%.
Totally agree. Do you have a word for the week for us?
I'm gonna say appreciation for what you've got. Similar kind of.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It is. We are blessed and lucky. Do you know the stats of people that actually make it to the professional game? Obviously, Premier League and the leagues below is just obviously we're class of professionals, but the numbers are so low. So even that, but away from that, just life in itself, I just think is so precious. So we never lose sight of that. But yeah, it was a tough one yesterday. It was a tough one because I know that's the second time he's collapsed, and I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, he should maybe think about retiring now." But it's so tough, man. It's tough. My heart goes out to him and his family for sure.
It is. It's like people will probably say to him, it's football. You've got to think about more. But when football's your life, like it is for us, you can't speak for him or put yourself in that position what he must be feeling. So yeah, it's awful, and I'm sending all my love to him and his family, 100%.
Sure. Anything else you want to add, Ollie? Anything you want to plug?
No, do you know what? No, this I wanna stay in football after. In what capacity, I don't know yet. Not sure.
And your badges?
No, that's the plan next summer.
Yeah.
Next summer's the plan to get them done. But yeah, stay in football. I couldn't imagine life without football, to be honest. It'd be strange.
What about could you see yourself being a manager, or are you more in front of the camera, or is it more assistance? Or
No,
could you see yourself?
I could see myself being a manager, to be honest. Yeah, I could. I definitely could. I've had a lot of good ones and a lot of bad ones. Obviously, we all have. But no, I feel like I could. I feel like I could do it, and I'd enjoy it. And I know how it must be tough. It must be a very, very tough job. So I've got massive respect to even the bad ones that I've had. You still, as I'm getting older, you get wiser. You learn.
Yeah, for
They're not all as bad as what you once thought they were. They're just trying to do the best, and they make obviously strange decisions at time, but so do we. So you've just got to get on.
You learn a lot from the bad ones, don't you?
Yeah, you probably you do. But I'm sure their intention isn't to be bad. So
No, it's not, but it's just like, what was you doing? What was you thinking there?
Ollie, I need a story now. I need a story. Now you said that, I need a football story that you just thought that's happened. Maybe not to you, or maybe that you've seen in your time over your career. I just need a funny story. If you could.
No. Look, bro, like they're just there's just situations like in your career where you just think, like, there was one time I was at Dagenham, man, my last season. Manager brought in some young boy, like, if we can play him ahead of me, like, what was you thinking? Like, no, seriously. Like, look how everything planned out. Like, that's stupid. That's the most like, not one of the most stupid things that's ever happened. Do you get what I'm saying? Because not even that it's me. Like he wasn't ready. He wasn't. What was you trying to do? What was you trying to do there? And you can tell by, like, look how he's, like, it's not like he was destined for a mad career. Like, nothing happened, bro. He's not even in the game anymore. Do you know what I mean? But you've caused that whole madness. I've ended up leaving the club. What you thinking?
Yeah. I've got a good one. I've got a good one. I've been dying to say something about this for a while.
Oh, let's go.
I'm gonna get it out there. So obviously when I was at Barrow, Mark Cooper came in as manager. He made me captain at some point early on in that season. Signed a new long contract in the December. And then Mark Cooper got the sack end of February, I think. And Phil Brown comes in. Phil Brown. Wow. He just hated me from the second he walked through that door.
Really?
Yeah. I was captain, got the top goal scorer. Like, fans loved me. Everything we weren't doing great in the league. Obviously, that's why Coops got the sack. Sorry, while I'm there, Coops, Mark Cooper, he divides opinion. But I've got nothing but good things to say about him. It was brilliant for me. I still speak to him now on a weekly or fortnightly basis. We get on really well. Great coach. Really, really liked working under him. Just shame it couldn't work out. And then the club obviously made the decision to bring Phil Brown in, and that was just bad. He just dropped me out of the squad completely towards the end of the season as captain. He just made it his mission to be that guy and just create a rift.
Personal.
Yeah, 100% personal. Yeah, 100%.
Have you ever knock on his door and ask why?
We had an end of season meeting. And I honestly wish I could play. You could have been a fly on the wall in there. It was the maddest situation I've ever been in. He got so angry and said, "I want you out." I went, "All right, fine, no problem." I said, "I don't respect you because you never respected me." I said, "That's where the problem began." I said, "You come in, never respected me, treat me like dirt." I said, "So you're gonna get the same in return." I said, "If you feel like I've treated you like that, then good. I'm glad. I'm glad you feel that way because that's the way it is."
Yeah.
But that's me as a person. I'll do anything for anyone, treat anyone with respect until the point where I don't get it back, and then
Yeah.
you're done.
It's tough. It is tough. And Mark, to be fair, going back to Mark Cooper, he's flying right now with Yeovil. But yeah, I think people just mirror the energy and the respect levels that you get, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I
yeah.
think so, yeah.
Managers,
All right, so
I think I think as you get older, you do change a little bit. You do change, and I think you learn how to treat people better, and especially in a football environment, it's tough, isn't it? It's tough at times.
yeah. Especially look, 20 men with all egos and testosterone going around, and everyone's trying to show that they're the guy. It's just, yeah, managers, maybe he wanted to make you not the scapegoat, but show that, because that's what a lot of managers do that I've seen. They come in and go for the biggest personality. Let me go for the man at the top.
Yeah.
Show that I've arrived. Then some things are going to change now. Sometimes it goes right, and sometimes it goes wrong.
And to be fair, Jammer, he played a style of football that was so far away from what I'm good at. So if he'd have been a bit more respectful about it and said, look, like you don't suit the way I want things doing, I'm gonna go with this, then I'd have been fine. But it's just the way he went about everything I thought was really poor.
But you see, managers, yeah, they're human, innit? So do you think managers just like, I don't know, but do you reckon managers just join a club and
Think how many people are gonna piss off here?
they just point, I don't like this, I don't like this guy. Do you reckon that goes through their head? Like,
Yeah, I
I don't,
suppose it does. Yeah, it's human nature not to like certain people. You don't have to, we don't all have to get on, do we? But I feel like there's ways to do it, and what I wouldn't do, maybe someone else wouldn't do or would do. So,
Yeah.
but I'm glad it happened now because it led me back to being at Chesterfield, and I'm a huge believer in everything happens for a reason, and I believe that happened for me to be back where I spent quite a few years, and hopefully to help in getting them back into the league. So I'm glad it happened.
a wise man told me, this was even a couple of weeks ago, I was in a meeting, and he was like, you don't have to like somebody to win with them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Huh?
Who did you say said that? Or you just in a meeting?
Sounds that's anything like someone to win with them.
No, I like that. I like that one. I like that one. I was at York and the manager treated a couple of players really badly, and then I think at the time we was in I can't remember where we were. I think it might have been League Two, and he ended up needing the players, and the players just didn't play for him simply because of how they've been treated. Like you can't shun someone and then expect them to go to war with you. You know, it's just. So I've always thought, okay, if I was to ever go into management, which I don't think I would because it's 24/7, I can't take that stress. But if there's a way to treat people, even when you don't want them at the club, you know, you can still like.
Yeah, it doesn't make a bad person, does it?
Yeah, exactly. I think gone are the days where you can absolutely tell you can make people train with like youth teams, and I don't think they can do that anymore. But yeah, when I was at York that time, it definitely left me with a sour taste in my mouth. Seeing teammates treated like that, but hey, that's football sometimes, isn't it? I don't think if they could do it again, they probably would. So, but yeah, football management and football itself it's a tough.
Yeah, and the one that always makes me wonder is they've been majority have been players themselves, and I
Yeah,
think
that's crazy.
yeah, I think that's a strange one when you've been a player,
Once
so
you step over that line, I think when you step over that line, it does change though, because there's different pressures, isn't it?
100%, yeah.
And you know why that's mad interesting? Yeah, they've all been players, and you see over like the course of a career, yeah, you've probably been through, let's say you have a 10, 15 year career, yeah. You've probably been through everything there is to go through in football, if that makes sense. So you've probably been exiled from a club. You've probably been injured. You've probably been transfer listed. You've probably been released. So managers that's had careers, surely they know what that feels like. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
you would think
100%.
like they go a different way about it when them situations occur. That makes sense. But
Yeah.
I'd like to think I would, but you don't know until you're in that situation.
you're in that position, you never know, you know.
No, you don't know. No, you don't.
Crazy. It's
It's-
crazy.
I think there's so much pressure. As players, there's pressure, but I think as managers,
Yeah,
there's
it's different level.
I think a quote. I have many conversations with our Gavin here, and he said a quote like, "You're 1 minute you're the best, and then you're only 6 games away from the sack." You know, and living with that must be mad. You know, and do you know what it is as well? There's not many managers that have not been sacked before. It's only what Sir Alex Ferguson.
That's a job you're definitely going to get sacked in, no matter
This is
regardless.
what I'm saying. So it's like if you said to me, Jamal, here's a job you can do. You got option. You can do a job that you're 100% going to get sacked at some point, no matter how well you do.
Yeah.
Or you got a job where you're going to have a bit of safety. And it's like when you put it like that, you're like, actually, yeah. Why would I be a football manager? You know, you've got to be literally do lally to even want to be. But that's why I always have the utmost respect for managers, because dealing with so many personalities, having that in the back of your mind, it must be tough, man.
That's what I was saying earlier about when you do get older, as a young lad, you don't even think about them things, do you? You're just so caught up in the football side and you worrying about what boots you're gonna buy next, and like, it's just a different. You start having kids and family and mortgages and everything else. It's just a all different ball game, and it's when you're a young lad.
Yeah, and when you do have the same manager for a long time, like I had Gary Mills for a good 3 or 4 years, you do actually start caring about the person, not the manager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So especially when you see the guy every single day, it's like some of your teammates you see every day. Do you know what I mean? If you had a teammate, lucky enough, me and Femi played together for like 5, 6 years, or it's like, okay, this is someone that I see every single day. It's like it's a mad career, man.
Well, we probably see the lads more than you see your family. It's you spend 7 or 8 hours a day with them, and then it's mad. Football's mental because you can play like you boys can play together for so long. I've had lads that have played together for so long, and you get on really well, but you probably speak to them probably 2 or 3 times a year. Like there's probably a handful of lads where you remain.
That happens, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
mad the way that it's crazy. And especially like I know Chesterfield, you guys had a couple London fixtures a couple of weeks ago, and you stayed in London for the weekend or something like that. Was it you had a Saturday, Tuesday, and you stayed from Saturday all the way to Tuesday?
yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
That's even that. Fem, can you imagine that?
It's my bonding time.
Bonding time, but also like Ollie said, you see them more than your family. Like your missus must have been thinking, I ain't seen you.
To be fair, there wasn't even a point in that weekend where all lads were like sick of seeing each other. We were still like the Sunday we'd all go for a few games, pull a bit of food, or a few of the lads went into London. There's not sure about, or literally nobody. I'd go for a few drinks one on one with every single one of them. I really would.
That's amazing. And that goes to show why you are where you are.
Yeah, I feel like it's a massive part of it. Yeah. But that's credit to the gaffer and the recruitment staff for not just bringing in good players, but for bringing like good guys. Because we've all been there when they bring in lads who you're thinking, nah, I'm not sure about this guy.
But then again, that goes to show that's that budget as well. Fem, you see that budget? They go overnight stay from Friday, Saturday.
Still. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Jesus. And you probably got your own rooms as well. I know you're not rooming together.
Yeah, we did. We roomed together. Together. The hotel was nice.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Credit is it to be able to do that. No, we don't. And like I was saying before, we've got such a good set, and none of the lads take it for granted. They really don't. So it's like the food after and before training is always spot on. The new training ground that they've done's brilliant. Everything's just in a real good place. It's just that last little piece of the jigsaw that we're waiting for now.
Yeah, of course. Well, I wish you all the success through your career. Honestly, long may it continue with your goals and your assists and your contributions. But no, honestly, thank you for coming on. Looking forward to coming to your place. Hopefully, I'm back fit by then. Hopefully, you ain't ran away of the league. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But no, honestly, thanks for coming on and giving us your time.
No, thank you guys. It's been good. I've enjoyed it. Wish you boys all the best as well.
Yeah, no, thanks, Banksy, man. You're a proper guy, man. Proper guy. And it's been a great conversation. I like these type of conversations. We could go on all day and keep talking, man. You know what I mean? It's that type of energy I'm getting, that pure, authentic.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I just enjoy talking about football. Just enjoy talking about football and the experiences. It's not going to be there one day, so you might as well enjoy it.
100%. Totally agree, man. But we'll let you get off and enjoy family day. Don't want the missus getting you in trouble with the missus, but enjoy your Sunday. Thanks for coming on. And guys, thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please interact on our socials. And this has been Beyond the 92 with Ollie Banks.
Goodbye.
Cheers, guys.